This is Fortified Friday. My name is Ilkka and we continue to discover the wonderful world of fortified wines, and we head back to Duorum and we're tasting a wine that is quite a new project between two winemakers, one from Alentejo region and one from Douro. Let me spell out the names: Jose Maria Suarez Franco, and the other one I think was João Portugal Ramos. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyways, this is a vintage port, and as you can see from the color, it is a very young vintage. It's 2009. It's been bottled in 2011, so last year. So it's a very young wine, so bear that in mind. So the color is super deep, and the aromas, I mean, it's one thing. I mean, vintage port wine, if any wine in the world, is designed to be wine to be enjoyed many years later after the harvest. I mean, there has been a slight kind of this a la moda, this kind of fashion thing that people are starting to drink, you know, young port wines, you know, fresh port wines, which is fine by me. I mean, I do that all the time. But this wine, from the nose, from the get-go, you get this very deep impact punch in your face. It's very, this dark berry aromas, and this pencil meets smoky barrel meets this very kind of meaty in a way. It's a very thick aroma. Let's taste it. I think in this stage of the wine is still kind of, you know, the particles in the wine are still meeting each other and greeting each other, like, hello, my name is alcohol, hello, my name is acidity, nice to meet you. So it's not really really balanced yet. I mean, it's delicious. It has the sweetness, it has the acidity as well, and it's tasty. But it's such a young wine that in this stage we're robbing the cradle, as they say. It's very young wine, and I would leave this for 5 years at least to start tasting it properly. It's such a dense. It's dense. Let's taste it one more time. But I mean, it's an interesting thing. I don't know. You can write your comments below if you prefer a younger vintage wine or older vintage wine. I prefer. I mean, let's face it. I drink basically anything, but for vintage port wine, I prefer them to be a bit older, because when they're young, they're just super hard and super intensive, and they're not really, you know, not really balanced yet, and not very, you know, a bit awkward, I might say. But anyways, it's tasty wine, but it's very young. Bear that in mind. So we have to, you know, take that into account. But it's an interesting project. It's a new project. So if you haven't tasted yet Duorum Vintage Port 2009, go get it. And if you have the patience, age it. If not, then what the hell, just drink it. Anyways, we see you next week. Cheers.